So now we're underneath. We have this 55 F100 panel up on the hoist. So just wanted to point a few things out underneath. So basically all the components or upgrades that we've done, we get a better visual look. For example, this originally had the drum brakes that were non-power. And you can see now we have a full disc brake conversion kit. So you can see we have, we use the same spindle, but it comes with the calipers and so on, and the backing plates and the disc, and they're a heavy-duty disc brake conversion kit. So obviously this is the passenger side, and then we've got the driver's side also. So we've you know, completely converted that to a disc brake conversion. I think you can see it from there. All of the steering components are new also. This drag link with all new bushings and fittings and ends. This big long bar was damaged and welded previously, so we have a brand new one with the new tie rods and so on. So the steering we also upgraded. So we took drum non-power brakes, removed them, installed power disc brakes, and then we also have a really neat power steering conversion kit. So I think you can see it there at the video. If I point with my pen, you can see up here it's virtually in the same location as the regular steering box was, but we replaced it with this upgrade one, which is a power box, and then we have lines which we'll show you as we go underneath the hood. But basically they claim it's a direct bolt-in kit, and it did require some modifications to get it to fit and to run the lines. But this takes a very numb kind of steering feel with no power to a fully powered, more modern setup. So we're quite happy with the way this turned out. So now we have a brand new power steering box with all new linkage, all new tie rods, tie rod ends and so on. So the steering is going to be as new as possible. As we come a little bit closer to you, you can see because of this upgraded engine and transmission, being the 302 carbureted, with the AOD 4-speed automatic transmission. This is a mid-80s Ford LTD driveline. You can see that we have, this is the original cross member that worked for us, but then we have this other cross member that we required to hold the back of the transmission and to stabilize the frame. This is a really nice component here. This is part of the disc brake conversion kit. So this location is virtually the same location as the normal master cylinder, the stock master cylinder was from the factory back in =55. But this particular kit obviously is a booster master cylinder. It's fully power now, and all new plumbing. You can see all new lines. So we have new junctions, so the brakes are completely new. And then we have this proportioning valve by Wilwood. And what this does is you need to be able to control how much pressure goes between the front power disc brakes in the front to the drum brakes in the rear. So there's a proportioning valve. We've done a few road tests and we've adjusted it accordingly. So we have all nice new lines and new fittings. As we come to this side, it's a Magnaflow Muffler. We bought all these components at our local Napa distributor. And so basically what we did is we made our own exhaust system, but we really like the sound of this Magnaflow. And so we've installed it. This is just our own exhaust we've done here in-house also. You'll see just to the opposite side of the muffler, there's a transmission oil cooler that's been added with all new copper lines. And then we just did a basic heat shield between the muffler and the transmission cooler. As we go back a little further, this gas tank has been relined. It has all new dolphin gauges inside the cluster in the dashboard. And the sending unit was a little bit tricky in this because the fuel sending unit from Ford, when it sends the signal with ohms, it starts at 72 ohms is empty and 0 ohms is full. And with the dolphin gauges, they're a brand new set that we have here in this panel, and it's set up the opposite way. So we were able to get another fuel sending unit, so now they're set up the same way with the dolphin gauges, so now we have an accurate reading. You can see the body's been nicely done, the frame is all nice and clean, the running board is obviously all bolted in, parking brake cables, new shocks. We've changed this whole rear end assembly. This setup originally had a, I believe it was a 4.52 axle ratio because it was a 3 on the tree transmission. So it would be way too high of revving and wouldn't be a comfortable highway cruiser for this special use vehicle. So what we've done is we've completely changed this whole rear end and spring setup out of a newer Ford pickup. And then the drive shaft, new U-joints and so on. So you'll also see we have the new flex line here. Parking brake cables have all been done. This didn't have mounts for shocks, so we made mounts, welded them to the frame, so now we have rear shocks in a proper location. And that's pretty much it in terms of the back end. So it's a little bit dirty underneath because we've done quite a few test miles on this truck, but we just wanted to give you a quick overview of what this panel looks like from underneath. So now we're just at the hood of this F100 panel. So I'd like to share with you some of the things that we've done underneath. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a 302 V8 carbureted motor. It's a mid-80s Ford LTD engine and transmission. So what we've done is we've kept the intake and the stock 2-barrel carburetor because we want it to be nice and efficient on the highway, and we wanted to give it a little bit nicer appearance and upgrade some of the features on it. So the carburetor, it had many issues. So what we did is we have a rebuilt Autolite 2-barrel carburetor that we got at our Napa dealer, and on the side you'll see we have the power choke or automatic choke on the side as opposed to a mechanical one. We've got a really nice Edelbrock air cleaner. The distributor, you can see we've upgraded it to an HEI electronic distributor instead of having points condenser and rotor. And it's basically it's made specifically, it's an aftermarket unit made specifically in terms of gearing for this 302, but the cap has the style of the GM look. So it's a GM style top distributor cap. You'll see we've got really nice valve covers. They're aluminum high polished valve covers. You'll see the exhaust manifolds. We've sandblasted them and had them ceramic coated. We have all stainless hardware there. New spark plug wires and all the tune-up parts and so on, and everything is brand new. We've upgraded the alternator to a simple 2-prong GM style alternator, and it's a heavy-duty style. And then the radiator was re-cored when we got this project vehicle. And as you come around this you'll see that we have you can get a better view of the power steering conversion kit that we've done. So you can see as the steering column comes out, you've got the knuckle set up, and then there's our new power steering box with the lines. And as the lines come up, what we've done is used, I believe it's a mid-90s Ford F150 power steering pump. And then we've kind of made some of our own brackets and so on to get that all to line up and to fit. And then we've got all of our new wiring harness, which you see very little of it because we put it all in conduit going along the back firewall and coming up to the front. So I don't believe they're ever going to show this engine in terms of the shows, the displays that they go to, but we wanted to upgrade it, make it as fuel efficient and as reliable as possible. So it's all nice and tidy and clean other than some of the road tests that we've been on, so we'll clean this up before delivery. So just wanted to share with you what it looks like under the hood.